we're just driving up to the Perth Hills for a Saturday long run with my coach, Macca. We're going to be going and doing Kelly's Climb, which I'm unsure whether I've actually done before, but it's going to be a bit of should hopefully get an hour and a half, 2 hours of long running on the trails, which should be good. So yeah, rounding out a week of slightly reduced training. We've been pretty busy, pretty stressed out with some final assessments at the end of semester for uni, getting into exam territory as well, kind of rounding out the last lectures and the kind of second test for the semester as well. So missed an easy run or two, looking to kind of finish the week reasonably strong. So yeah, hour and a half on the trail should do that. Coming off the Margaret River Ultra Relay last week with a 13k leg, was alright. I pulled up decently. I pushed my sessions back to Wednesday and Friday instead, so yesterday was my second one. Pulled up okay. I don't think I was too sore considering how technical those trails were, and how much vert I got at a decent pace. So yeah, I was pretty happy with how I pulled up with that from that. Had a great time. Gonna try and keep a bit of a streak going with the trail running this winter. It's probably not the most optimal thing to be doing for running fast 5 and 10k. Like, you know, I'd probably get more benefit if I was just to keep things really short and sharp and, you know, really focus up for the sessions. But I always enjoy the trails. I think it's good for a bit of leg strength. Always enjoy a bit of variation, and it's also just fun. I like getting out to the trails. I think doing hour and 20 around in the city is just, yeah, never going to be as much fun. So we're going to try and keep a bit of a streak going, whether that's with Macca or with another mate as well around Bolt Park. We're just going to try and get up more regularly. Today, hour and a half, we're going to be doing it in the Deviate Nitro Elite Trail, which I haven't worn yet, which I'm very excited about. So super shoe from Puma. I've been waiting a long time for this to come out, and I think it's going to be very good. So we'll give that a go and give you a bit of a review midway through the run. I'm also going to ask Macca a few questions because he's about to go and do a record attempt, fastest known time for the Bib Track, which is a 1000k trail which runs down WA. So it starts here in Perth in Kalamunda, and it runs pretty much along the coast all the way down to the bottom of the country in Albany. So he's going full steam ahead, training hard to try and break that record. So I'm going to ask him a few questions about that because I think it is fascinating, especially with nutrition and the specificity of his training. It'll be very cool to see. In terms of my nutrition today, I have got a flask of Big's Performance Powder with me, so probably got about 40 or 50 grams of carbs in this one. I'm just sipping on this now as we approach, and I'll probably leave a little bit for after. And then I'm going to take 25 grams of carbs with me in a little flask just in a belt, which should give me enough to get through hour and a half, 2 hours of running. So yeah, looking forward to this. Should be good. Trying to keep it regular, and we'll keep recording for the whole thing. I've got this camera here, and I've also got a little camera which I'm going to clip onto my hat. Hopefully should get a nice little long run vlog for you. Okay, formal introduction. What's your name, mate?
Coach Macca from Perth, WA. Nice to be here.
Yep. What's your full name? Not sure many people actually know it.
Mackenzie Burgoyne.
There we go. So his last name isn't Macca for a change. Usually it's like McDonald, McKinnon,
McKinley. Get the reverse. Yeah, I got stuck with the girl's name.
How long have you been running for?
So I was doing running as like supplementary for soccer for years. So I was trying to go pro, and I ran my first marathon at 18.
Ooh,
which is
pretty young, hey?
2013. I ran like a 3:30. And in hindsight, I probably should have stuck with it.
Kept on going.
Went and did the college soccer thing, and then started again when I got back, like 2018, I think. So about 7 years, like properly now.
Yeah. And so what would you say was the kind of stimulus jumping from soccer to running?
Well, I just got back. So I ran another marathon while I was over there and enjoyed it, and I always liked doing both. And then when I got back, like I was doing both still for probably 2 years, but I kind of just lost the love of soccer. Like tried so hard to go pro, failed, come back, just spent like 6 months getting on the beers all the time, and was like stacking on the kilos. Like my highest was probably, I don't know, almost 10 kilos up on where I am now. And I was like, mate, you got to get back to fitness. So started running again. Worked on the 5, and then just started hitting halves for a couple of years before getting back into mara and the longer stuff in the last like 3.
And now really long stuff.
Yeah,
now really long stuff. And what were you studying over in the US?
So I did my exercise science degree and then had a minor in sports psychology, which I don't know how the major minor works over there. I guess it's like an additional TAFE course.
Yeah.
Level.
So full package sports and running coach. And
well that's it. I guess like while I was trying to be my own science experiment.
Yeah.
Did a lot of like heavy strength.
Yeah.
While I was playing. I think my squat PB at like, how old was I, 20? Got up to 160. Which is fucking.
It's not bad.
No way I could do that again.
What times body weight would that have been?
I would have been like low 70s.
Yeah.
So 2 and a bit.
2 and a bit.
Wow.
Crikey.
But yeah, I was pretty strong, but I was always lacking speed, so it was kind of chasing speed through power.
Yeah.
Which worked. My vert went up, my speed went up, but I guess I didn't really understand the conditioning side of things so much.
Yeah.
And I think, honestly, all the science that's come out of running the last 10 years has been game changing.
Yeah.
Prior to that, everyone was kind of making it up.
Awesome time to be a runner, hey, because we've got super shoes, but then we've also got these awesome stuff coming out. Bicarb, carbs, strength training, sleep and recovery. It's kind of all coming together at the right spot.
Yeah, we're at a crazy period. Obviously, Kipchoge with the 2-hour marathon was one big step with the shoes. And now you got the high carb like revolution coming in.
Yep.
Like for any endurance sport, like Cam Worth just hitting 200 grams of carbs an hour in the Ironman the other day. Crazy.
Are you going to be trying to do some high carb stuff for your Bib Track?
Well, yeah, I'm practicing more high carb.
Yeah.
Had to give you one of my gels, man.
I came not properly prepared. How many carbs are we aiming to do today?
So today, wouldn't have been too high.
Yeah.
Like 165 I had, but just
I've stolen 40 of that, so.
Yeah. But on the 100 miler, I was hitting like 110.
Yeah.
And felt good. So trying to build that, and on any longer stuff when you're going a bit slower, it's easier.
Yeah.
But even like the Perth Marathon last year, I got at least 80 an hour.
Yeah.
At like high intensity.
Oh, it's so good, eh? So underrated. I've been taking so much carbs just for general training. It just makes me feel so much better.
Yeah.
Like afternoon run, I'll be sipping on a bottle of Bix.
100%.
I'm not like, I reckon when I started, I would have been disgusted with myself at the prospect of taking a gel on for a session. Like, what are you doing? Like, you get into running and there's all that fasted training, burn more fat, be more efficient kind of stuff. And I feel like it's just kind of imprinted that you don't need it, but.
Well, I would always train, like I'd come out here for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, all right, well, I won't take any fuel. I might take some water.
Yeah.
But if I can do that run with no fuel, then the race is going to be so much easier.
Yeah.
But then it comes down to like enhancing your recovery, like
so much.
pulling up fresh at the end of this run, and then not being starving, so you don't go straight to McDonald's and like eat shit food the rest of the day.
And sit on the couch, like post long run coma. That was my worst enemy for so long. Just like had to have a sleep on the couch for 2 hours or so. You just cooked for the rest of the day.
I'll get that gel in now.
I think it's a good call. 34.
Like 2K.
Yep. I want to have that in my system when I hit that.
That's what I was going to say. And a bit of caffeine. But that's the other thing with the high carb stuff is like, you just forget.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I'm going to try and get 200 grams. And you're like 30 minutes
halfway through a long run, a little bit more. 40 grams in one gel. Love it. So good.
Surely these gels are going to take off soon, eh?
They've gotta. I've had so many people come back after I recommend them.
Yeah.
Obviously, like you got a discount code that helps out, but just 40 grams in one shot, it makes that 80 gram per hour. Like if you're doing a marathon, taking 2 gels versus 3, like
way
3 or 4 even.
And the consistency's so light.
So, and it just goes down an absolute treat.
Yeah.
How much vert does the Bib Track have overall?
It is the equivalent of like 5 times Everest, I think. So it must be like 30,000 meters.
30,000 meters, correct.
It's fucking wild, bro. Like, and it's just so gradual, you know.
Yep.
There's some sections that are hilly, some that are flatter, but each day, sort of minimum I'll get 2,000, I'd say.
Yep. 2,000, 100 Ks, hey?
Yeah, 110.
110 aiming for? Yep.
But yeah, all looking good for that. I'll be way more prepared than the 100 miler.
Okay, that's 9 Ks there.
Yeah. So you kind of hit the 12k mark right at the top.
Yep.
Basically 10k. And like 530k.
Here we go. I think the quads have kind of settled into the abuse a little bit. First 500 meters they were screaming, but eventually they learned to shut up.
It's the first and last 500.
Nice. Feel like I settled in alright. That is brutal.
That is rough, eh?
There's like no relief to that at all. It's definitely going to my quads though, which I'm happy about. If it was my calves, I'd be cooked.
The palms going, bro. Yeah, it's not that, I think it's steep enough to get the calves.
Nah.
Except for right at the top and the bottom, but
Yeah.
the whole middle section.
You're not like quite right up on your toes, you're just like, just enough. Feels alright. I'm feeling pretty strong with that.
The next one will be easier.
Yeah.
Because like going downhill, heart rate will drop
Yeah.
so much.
Nice recovery.
Real solid recovery. There we go.
Good to go. What do you reckon of the aerobic speeds after, what have we got, 12 Ks?
Actually, it's sick, eh?
So good.
Like, so light. They basically feel like a Boston with lugs.
With lugs, it's so good.
It's so good. Like, obviously a little less pop, but you also want a bit more
ground feel for this kind of stuff.
Ground feel on the trail, so they're pretty perfect, eh?
But I don't feel harsh, which is what I love. Like, I loved about mine. Like, I put mine on for the first leg of Transcend, knowing that I'd be soaked.
Yep.
And by the time I got to it, because I was going to swap them out for the bigger shoe, the Ultra.
Yep.
And I got there and I'm like, I actually don't want to. I want to keep these on. Like,
yeah.
I reckon I could have gone 60, 70 Ks in those, no worries. Deviate Nitro Trail so far, it's been decent. Probably not as good as I was expecting. Like, I really love their race shoe, the Elite 3. I was expecting a little bit more bounce, but could just be some slightly tired feet after yesterday.
Are they heavy or?
They're like 280, so they're light for a race. Like that's like a good trail racing weight, but maybe not quite as much pop as I was expecting. And the grip, like, I feel like they've done a bit of a weird grip pattern where I'm not actually biting into the gravel as much as I want. So they're smooth, they're comfy. Maybe they need a bit of a break in. Oh, this feels lovely. Jogging down, this is nice. When you put all these places together, I reckon Perth's one of the best places to train, eh?
Oh,
like,
definitely, bro.
You get a bit of munga, a bit of herdsman for some nice marathon sessions, heaps of bike path.
The weather's good.
Weather's great. Hills aren't that far away.
Yeah. The only thing is really like, yeah, we've only got one set of hills really out here.
Yeah.
We do the same loop.
Yep.
All the time.
So Bib Track record attempt.
Yeah.
Give us some dates. Give us some details.
Well, yeah, you guys getting the inside scoop because it's not officially yet.
Not officially yet. Okay.
It'll be.
Well, tell us what you're allowed to say.
Definitely, I will be running September 24th, going for Bib Track record. Ideally, finishing on the 9th day, so it'll be 8 full days and a half, or whatever that last day takes me.
Yeah.
But yeah, to take it under 9.
Yeah.
And go, be about 110 a day.
Yep.
Going south to north.
South to north.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So starting in Albany, finishing Kalamunda.
Yeah. I think it would be awesome to get people out as often as possible.
Yep.
Not going to be running really fast. Like, still on trails, obviously. Like 6:30 pace can be hard in some sections, but I'd say a lot of the hills will be walked.
But the kind of thing where people can come down, organise some shuttles around and do their weekly longie, come along for a ride.
I'll have a crew with me. If you park your car and run with me for 10Ks, one of them can drive your car to the next spot.
Yeah.
Should be epic, but yeah, so the next few months will be like after HBF next week. All systems go for that. Just build a lot of strength to build that resilience, and then lots of trails, lots more mileage, and then probably a fair bit of cycling as well, just to get a bit more conditioning while avoiding some more impact. But yeah, pumped, mate. It's
going to be awesome. I'm so keen to see like something for WA and like something so iconic like Bib Track. Everyone's run on it. Everyone knows the feeling. It's an awesome track.
Yeah.
And so to have something connected to that is going to be awesome.
Just something I wanted to do since I was a kid as well. Like in Scouts, hiking it. Yeah. Finally do the N10 in 2021.
Yeah.
And then now, I just want to put a time down where everyone's all like, fuck that, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, you got to scare them off. There's a few trail dogs are rocking around Perth.
Yeah.
Number 2. Heart rate is right down. Second one should be a bit
harder or easier.
Bit kinder.
540, I'll be happy.
540, yep. Choo! That's crazy good. Hell yeah. When you get to that last 1500, and you just feel that you're both gassed, but you're just trying to hold on. That's the stuff. How good?
That's nice, man.
Downhill from here.
Yeah.
Quick loose stop on the Heritage Trail. We're just rolling about 420s for the last 10Ks or so. Nice smooth downhill, bit of gravel. Shoes are coming good, I reckon. Broken in quite nicely. A little bit more bounce to them. They definitely feel better on some smoother roads, so maybe a bit more of a buffed out ultra shoe. I'm not sure whether I would go techie trail with this kind of stuff. Get rolling again.
Not super stable, or?
Oh, they're stable, but they're just not as directed as some of the other super shoes. Like, I feel like if you're not going to have that kind of big crazy bounce, you may as well have a little bit more ground feel.
Yeah.
So it kind of feels like it's muting my sense of the trail, but it's not really getting me rewarded. Yeah, if that makes sense. Like, it feels like a really nice kind of road-ish shoe on this stuff, but on the trail it just doesn't really feel quite right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's opening up a little bit. For me, I reckon 6mm drop is pretty much perfect for trail shoes, because then you don't feel as clunky on the downhill. Like, if you got an 8 or 10mm drop, I often feel like
you end up like heel striking.
Yeah, you catch that heel strike on the end. Like the Ultra Mont Blanc Carbon 0 mil drop is hard work on the uphills, but the downhill experience is one of the best I've had. So
Yeah.
it's like that kind of sweet spot in between. 6 mil, I reckon, is just beautiful.
Yeah, last day we were 450 average, so definitely quicker. About a few minutes.
What's the recovery going to look like after this longy nutrition practices?
Got get a protein shake in.
Yep.
Usually buy another 10 grams and like 20 grams carbs and a banana.
Yep.
And go for a big lunch.
Yep.
In the sabo, I'll get in the ice bath. Maybe a nap. See how we go.
Yeah, I'll hit the beach after this, I reckon.
Yeah, nice.
Get some protein in.
Yeah.
30 Ks of running, 444 average, 152 average heart rate.
That's solid.
That's solid. I'm not sure about that heart rate though.
Yeah, that's on the Gumby watch.
222. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Probably.
My heart rate was 146, so 152.
That sounds about right, yeah. I'll give myself 40 grams of carbs an hour. It's probably wouldn't mind. I should take it. I should have brought a gel. I don't know what I was thinking. That's probably a good amount though.
It's enough.
It's enough.
40's enough.
I don't feel cooked, which is good.
Yeah. I'm on like, that because I gave you that one. I was on like probably 60.
Yeah.
And like I could feel like I could run like 50k.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I should just keep a case of them in my car.
Yeah.
Or a bag of I should keep a bag of the performance powder in there just to mix it up. The amount of times I'll be at uni and I'll have a run after and I'll just mix it up and sip on it in class.
Yeah.
So good. Deviate Nitro Trail. Pretty good, I think, in the end. I think I was a little bit negative at the start, but I reckon that's broken in nicely. The plate has a little bit more flex now, and so those last couple of Ks just rolled real nice. Bit more punch from the foam too. I reckon probably as good as some of the better ones. Maybe not quite Agravic Ultra. That thing's crazy good, but it's a good start. I'm just surprised that the grip is not as good from Puma. Like usually they have really solid lug depth and really grippy rubber. I think the rubber here is grippy, but that tread is just not as sharp as it could be. So I felt like with fatter lugs, the kind of width of the lug there, I was rolling over a lot of the gravel rather than getting in between them and actually grabbing the ground. So yeah, bit of a surprise, but overall pretty good.
I felt a bit of rubbing, but
that's cooked.
whoops.
I felt a bit of rubbing. I'm actually all right, but let's see what this other one's looking at.
Yeah, man, my toes are fucked still from this ultra. Hey, so gross.
That's all right.
Not bad.
Oh crikey, that's gonna go all right. Perfect.
Nice.
Trim that up. Get that aircon cranking. Right, finish that off. I don't know how much of that came through on the camera because I was running a little bit low at the end there. But we'll give a quick run through. So we ended up with 30 Ks exactly, 222 for the entire run, 2 hours, 22 minutes. 444 average pace across the whole run, which is unreal considering the amount of vert we got. So 152 average beats per minute for that. And vertical gain, 620. 619 if you want to be picky, and I'm absolutely stoked with that. I've just taken a pretty mediocre week of training, was sitting at 40 Ks up until then, and we're going to end up with 70 plus probably 12 tomorrow. So yeah, that's looking real good. I'm really happy with how that ended up. So good to have Macca there just to push along a little bit more. Those two Kelly's climbs were spot on, kind of like a threshold effort mid long run, but just yeah, with that added benefit of a bit of climbing. As probably mentioned, Deviate Nitro Trail, I'm happy with right now. I'm not blown away. I'm probably not as excited as I initially was based off the kind of feel running around the shop, but I'm also kind of aware that it's probably not what I should be expecting from a trail racing shoe. Like, trail racing shoes shouldn't feel like super shoes. They need to be more stable, more refined, more subdued, because otherwise they're going to be a hassle. So it was smooth, it was comfortable, it was pretty nice on the climbs. I wouldn't say it was particularly dynamic on the descents, like it wasn't able to really rip around and kind of, you know, dart back and forth over the rocks, but it was good. The upper fit I thought was pretty nice as well. The lockdown was secure. I would just say I did feel ever so slightly on that outside edge, just a little bit of pressure on the pinky, but no blister like Macca got. So I think I've escaped pretty unscathed. Yeah, overall, good run. We're gonna head home, grab some brekkie, grab some protein, grab some carbs, head down to the beach, and then we're gonna get into some study. Yeah, great run, good hit out. Hopefully this has all come together quite nicely. That's about it.